In 2013, Public Transport Victoria released Network Development Plan onto their YouTube channel. This video basically outlined what Public Transport Victoria wants to do with the network over the next 20 to 30 years as of 2013. But what has been done since that video has been released? What has changed since that video has been released? And how is it going to impact the future of our public transport network? Hello and welcome to Sea Gunzels. I am Woodrow and let's get into the video. So first up, let's start off by taking a look at the intro to the video.
Trips on Melbourne's trains have grown by 70% over the last decade and are expected to more than double again in the next 20 years. By 2031, Public Transport Victoria predicts that there will be 1.7 million boardings a day on metropolitan trains, and overall trips on trains, trams and buses will hit more than 1 billion a year. Driven largely by population and employment growth, significant challenges lie ahead if we are to meet the future travel needs of our rapidly growing city.
So yeah, that video did show that Melbourne's population is growing quite rapidly. I just checked on Google. The population as of 2019 in Melbourne was about 5 million. And with population growth obviously means more public transport trips. So yeah, that's the intro. There's a bit more, but you can watch that in the actual network development plan video, which I will link in the description. But let's get on to stage 1 of the plan.
The first stage of the rail plan, up to 2016, will fix many existing bottlenecks, simplify timetables and train operations.
So it says there in the caption, a turn up and go service. Now, this could have been achieved, but for me it's kind of hard to define what exactly a turn up and go service is. Because I'm pretty sure a turn up and go service is just arrives and departs, because that's kind of what turn up and go is. But that's what they've been doing all the time. That's literally how a train system works. So I find it hard to define what they actually mean by turn up and go.
And with the completion of the Regional Rail Link project, will provide a major increase in services and provide a strong base for future expansion.
So yes, Regional Rail Link has been built and it's great and all, but in 2020, late 2020, Rail Projects Victoria actually released their plans to put the Geelong line, which is the line that goes through the Regional Rail Link, back through the Werribee line, which is the old way that they did it. So basically they built the Regional Rail Link for absolutely no reason. I'm sure they'll find some other purpose for it. I'm sure there'll be another line or something that can use it. But it really got, I think, the communities of Wyndham Vale and Tarney really excited, because they now have a train station, and now the services are going to go back through. Their services are going to go back through Werribee. It would be good if they could make that part of like the suburban rail loop or something, which isn't mentioned in this video. But the suburban rail loop is quite a major part of the network. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
New trains and new timetables are already being delivered.
So the new trains have arrived and they have started running on the network, kind of. They're not fully in service yet, but they are doing some services. So they have arrived and they've nearly finished testing and they're nearly ready to go on the network after several delays. And in terms of the new timetables, well, on the 31st of January 2021, Public Transport Victoria made a huge timetable change across multiple lines. So new timetables have been delivered, and there was probably another new timetable back in 2013 when the video was originally made. So yeah, that's that.
Stage 2 of the plan, to be carried out over the next 10 years, will continue to introduce a metro-style system for Melbourne, with increasingly separated train lines delivering more regular, more reliable services.
So the only progress that has been made with that wasn't there in 2013 is the regional rail link, which I've already talked about how it's going to go back through Werribee. So yeah, I don't know, that's not really being met, that goal's not really being met, and it's kind of disappointing, to be honest, so yeah.
Key projects at this time include the Melbourne Metro Rail Tunnel project, running through the centre of the city.
Metro Tunnel is going very well at the moment. No real delays in construction to it. It's going to be done by 2025 or 2026 at this point. So the Metro Tunnel is looking really good and I can't wait for it to be finished.
The Dandenong Rail Corridor upgrade, including removal of level crossings at key locations.
It took a while to get this going, but there have been quite a few level crossing removals on the Dandenong corridor. It's been great, and it's pretty important considering the fact that the Pakenham line now has 5-minute services. So it's quite a busy corridor, and they need to have, no level crossings in the way, because imagine a train just coming every 5 minutes. So yeah, it took a while, but with the new timetable changes it really sped things up.
And duplication of the rail line to Melton.
I mean, I guess this has been done. It hasn't been as big in the news as like the Metro Tunnel or anything, but yeah, I think it has been done, because if you go up to Sunbury where the Ballarat line turns off, I think it's Sunbury, they are duplicated lines, so I think it's been completed. But I don't know, it's not really a project I've done much research into, so yeah.
Delivery of the Melbourne Metro will result in fundamental network changes, with the creation of 4 new independent lines.
So I'm going to let you listen to the narrator explain the lines before I talk about how these lines have actually happened in real life on the Melbourne network.
The Northern Loop line, the Sunshine Dandenong line, the Cross City line, and the Frankston Loop line.
So now I'm going to talk about how those lines have actually happened in Melbourne, like actually in real life. So yeah, the Northern Loop line, it seems like it's been around for a long time now. Apparently it wasn't around in 2013, but feels like it's been around for a while. The Sunshine Dandenong line, that won't happen, as the diagram shows, that won't happen until the Metro Tunnel has been built, but still under construction. The Cross Sea line has actually happened, but not in the way that this map shows. First off, the Cross Sea line doesn't go to Wyndham Vale, it only goes to Werribee, because there's no real link between Wyndham Vale and Werribee. So yeah, that only goes as far as Werribee. And second of all, the map says, the video says that it goes to Sandringham, but the Cross Sea line at the moment actually goes to Frankston. So I don't know if that will change once the Metro Tunnel's built, then the Frankston Loop line will come. Or if, something's just a little bit, if they've changed it since this video was released. So yeah.
New high-capacity trains will begin arriving, each with room for 1,100 passengers and capable of being extended to 220 metres in length, with room for 1,600 passengers.
So once again, this video is referring to the high-capacity metro trains, or HCMTs. These, once again, have been delivered, and they have nearly finished testing, and they have sort of gone into service, but not really into, like, actual service. It's kind of weird. But yeah, the new trains are in service, which is good. I hope that they can get them into actual service really soon.
And a modern, high-capacity signalling system will be delivered in stages.
So this hasn't actually been delivered on the current network, but it's probably going to be delivered in the suburban rail loop and the metro tunnel and other projects to come. So hopefully it will be that they'll have that sorted really soon, and there'll be high capacity signaling around the network, and it will also probably come in the high capacity metro trains too. So yeah.
Stage 3, to be delivered over the next 15 years, would see the construction of a number of extensions to the network, made possible by the foundations built in stages 1 and 2. Possible extensions will include a rail line to Melbourne Airport via the existing Albion East Reservation, connecting into the Melbourne Metro rail tunnel with a 2-track terminus at the airport.
So with the airport rail, the government keeps promising that we are going to get the airport rail, and we never do. Also in late 2019, the Victorian government / Rail Projects Victoria did announce that the airport rail is in the process of being built. However, because of past attempts, I'm not sure how long it will be before we do get the airport rail. But yeah, hopefully it's soon.
Electrification of the rail line to Melton. The separation of the South Morang and Clifton Hill lines, with South Morang services running via a new tunnel to Parkville and Southern Cross. New Doncaster services running via the existing Clifton Hill line, and an extension to Monash University and Rowville.
So basically stage 3 is just extending the network. So those extensions were the electrification of the Melton line, meaning that the Melton line would become part of the metro network. Nothing, like literally nothing has been done about Melton, but then again, stage 3 is meant to be in the future. Stage 3 isn't now, so something could be done. So Melton electrification, nothing's happened. The Mernda line going separated from Clifton Hill lines, once again, nothing's been done about that. Yeah, nothing's been done about that, but I also think that's a very stupid idea. I don't like it at all. The extension of the line out to Doncaster, once again, nothing's happened, but I do think that's a really good idea. And the extension out to Rowville, since it's going to go through Monash University, it's a really good idea, because Monash University could probably do with a train. So yeah, that's my thoughts on all the lines mentioned just then.
Stage 4 of the plan, to be delivered over the next 20 years, will prepare the network for future growth. The network will be extended to Mernda and Fisherman's Bend.
So, Fisherman's Bend, nothing has been done about Fisherman's Bend. Once again, this is the next 20 years, from 2013, of course, so, something still could be done about that. And the Mernda line, even though this is the next 20 years, the Mernda line has actually happened. Rail went back to Mernda in 2018, which is good. It's a really good thing for the community up in Mernda. There were 2 other stations added apart from Mernda, at Hawkstow and Middle Gorge. So yeah, that's really good for the community. And I'm glad that they did it in 2018 instead of, well, in the next 20 years.
The Altona loop will be duplicated, and lines to Geelong and Wallen electrified.
The Altona loop line getting duplicated is a great idea. I am on board with that. Nothing's been done about that, but once again, next 20 years, something could be done about that. The electrification to Geelong, I think that means that will become part of the metro network. If they're planning on making the V-Line trains electric, then good on them. But I think Geelong becoming part of the metro network is just too much at the moment. I don't think it's necessarily ready to become part of the metro network. I don't think it's really part of Melbourne. Like, Pakenham used to be its own city, then it became part of Melbourne, basically. Yeah, technically used to be a city in itself. One day that will happen to Geelong, but I don't think it's ready just yet for that. The electrification for Wallen I don't really have a comment on, but I do think it's a good idea. So yeah.
And the City Loop will be reconfigured to create 7 separate independently running train lines.
So yep, like last time, I'm just going to let him list off the train lines before I give my thoughts on each one, although it will probably just be my thoughts on the general thing. So yeah.
The Clifton Hill Loop Line, the Baxter Craigieburn Line, the North-South Line, the Ringwood Loop Line, the Sunshine Dandenong Line, the Burnley Newport Line, and Mernda to Fisherman's Bend.
All these ideas for C loop lines seem to be cool. Some of them are repeated from before. And it's interesting to see that they plan for some of the lines to not go through Flinders Street or Southern Cross. It's actually kind of interesting since they are the two main hubs. So if you're not going to go to Flinders Street or Southern Cross, then, well, if you want to go to Flinders Street or Southern Cross and you're on the line that doesn't go through Flinders Street or Southern Cross, then you're going to have to change trains, and you're only going to be changing trains for one station. But at least you'll be in the city, and you still go through the city loop, so that's that. So I'm just going to let the rest of the video play out, and yeah, I'll finish off the video there.
Throughout all stages, a number of critical supporting initiatives will be delivered, such as track duplications, stabling and maintenance facilities, and new stations in growth areas. New timetables and operational changes, combined with the projects detailed in this plan, will provide a 50% increase in peak hour capacity within 10 years and a 130% increase within 20 years. The increased number of services, larger network and better timetables will also result in improved coordination with buses and trams. This plan presents a comprehensive strategy to meet the current and future growth needs on the rail network and can be viewed now on the PTV website.
So yeah, that's the end of this video on the network development plan's progress in 2021. I hope you did enjoy. I hope that this whole network development plan does come to life and actually does happen. So I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.